So obviously you're interested in that dark color grade aesthetic that we kind of just saw. It's really not hard to shoot. There's a few prerequisites I think that you need to know. I'm not gonna break down everything, but I'm gonna share a couple tips right now. The first is shoot in log if you can. Obviously not every camera can, but just keep in mind, it's pretty obvious. Shoot in the most raw format you can to get the most data out of it in the end. That way if you underexpose or overexpose, you can correct. Shoot in 60 FPS, you wanna slow things down for that aesthetic. Usually it's some type of like vibe, like the car thing where slow-mo looks better. So shoot 60 FPS or higher if you can go higher. Why not? Try it. Try to shoot at a higher f-stop or use an ND filter with a lower f-stop just so you don't blow out the image, but you get as dark of an image without underexposing it as possible. I like to shoot like a step or two down, maybe not even, just to get a little bit of a darker starting point. You are going for a grungy aesthetic, so it helps if you underexpose a tiny bit, but don't do it too much, otherwise you'll lose the detail for real, and you also don't want to do that. The last two tips kind of go hand in hand. The color grade is only half the work. The other half is actually how you shoot, so make sure you're shooting steady, whether it's on a gimbal or something like that. If you're gonna have movement, make sure it's smooth and controlled. If you don't have a gimbal, I am reviewing one, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, those are the prerequisites. We're gonna do this in both Premiere Pro first and then DaVinci secondly. Premiere Pro, I did the actual edit in, so I'll break down the edit for you there. And then DaVinci, I will just show you a couple clips and how I would go about doing the same color grade on that. Let's hop into it. Let's just start with this shot and all the footage as a whole, right? I shot in log, which means I need to convert the footage from log to Rec 709, which is a standard color profile that you watch on like TV. And in order to do that, I selected all the footage I brought in, right? I right click it, modify, color, and then I just change the input LUT to my conversion LUT, which I already have set here. You just have to add LUT and you go to the website, of your manufacturer and you grab the best LUT you can that fits the type of color space you're using. It will now convert all the footage from log to Rec 709, and then we're gonna go ahead and actually correct the footage. Let me turn my effects back on, you'll see what happens, right? This footage looks a lot darker, a lot grungier, closer to our final product. It's not quite the final product, but let's break down the shot and see what we did with it. So I set my white balance. I brought my exposure down a little bit, right? Because it was a little high than I wanted to. My contrast I brought up, highlights I brought down, shadows I brought up a little bit because originally the shadows were a little too dark. So I wanted to raise it up a little bit so you could still see the detail of the car because of course, keep in mind, even though you're going for a dark aesthetic, does not mean you want it to be a nighttime aesthetic. But however, under whites, I brought it down a little bit because I didn't want it to be a very strong, bright image. Of course, I still want that dark aesthetic. And then the blacks, the same deal. I brought those down as well. Again, this is what it was like before. This is what it's like afterwards. So that's, that's taken care of. Now, okay, the important part that I want you to pay attention to is if you go to curves, right? I have a very slight S-curve. It's not strong, but generally speaking, an S-curve is gonna get you in a good direction for that dark aesthetic, but the important stuff is under hue saturation curves. I don't want reds in my grays. I want my grays, my blacks, my whites, my values, if you would, to have no color in them. Or at least that's what I want. I'm not saying this is the only way, but that's what I want. And in order to do that, I made sure that I was paying attention to the gray here, right? We can zoom in, click and drag over. Now I see a little bit of green and I see a little bit of magenta in the gray of the asphalt here. I don't want that. So when I turn this back on, you'll see that I brought my reds down, my magentas down a little bit, and I brought my blues down just a tiny bit too because that cyan type of greenish blue, whatever, I brought it down in order to make sure that the gray was a true or as close to true gray as possible. Now I'll show you another shot in a minute where this is more pronounced and you can tell the difference, but I think it's a good idea to bring down the color out of the gray, so pay attention to what color is in the gray, try to find it along this line or pick the color out with the pick tool and bring that down carefully because again, you can tear color, you can mess it up, but correct the grays to make sure that they look gray and not colored. It helps the aesthetic, just in my idea. And that's all I did for this. We'll grab another shot for reference. Now, if I turn off the effects, you'll see that this was just the Rec 709 converted color look, that I had here. I'll go to Lumetri Color again and I'll scroll up to basic correction. I'll turn my effects back on. And obviously this is drastically different. Again, you can see that if I turn this off, there's some major differences here. And that's because again, it was a little high, properly exposed, but it was a bright sunny day still. So I brought my highlights down, I brought my shadows and my blacks down, but I didn't want it to be invisible and dark as hell, so I brought my whites up a little bit because of course the white point in your footage, it just adds a sort of brightness to your footage that you do need in order for people to see what's in the footage. And then the curves, I pretty much did the same thing. A slight S curve. I got rid of any possible magentas. Now if we go back to the original sequence, because this is a nested sequence that I'm showing you right now within a real sequence, which is right here. I have these 2 layers off, but I have 2 adjustment layers and 2 sequence layers. We have our actual color graded adjustment layer. This is just gonna go over the rest of the footage, all of it at once, so it's consistent in terms of color. Brought my midtones, my shadows down toward the blues, and then I brought my highlights a little bit to the warm, oranges, yellows, if you would, so that way there's that contrast. Again, if I go right here and I turn it off, this is before, that's after. Pretty standard, pretty simple, but I do think that it's important to mention that a lot of these, dark aesthetics have like a cool blue shadows to them, so that's what I went ahead and did. But I also came here to creative and I added just a little bit of warmth to the shadow tint so it wasn't overpowering, and that's all I did. Now I did add my bloom and halation to this footage because I think that it looks better and it kind of fits that aesthetic more, makes all the highlights glow a little bit, it looks good. You can go ahead and download that in the description if you want to grab that. Otherwise, we're going to hop right into Davinci really quickly and just use one piece of footage and show you how we do it. Okay, so here in Davinci, we have 2 shots, this one and this one. Pretty much the same type of shot, same type of lighting, which is going to be helpful for making one color grade apply to the other one. So here on this first shot, I added 3 correctors. The first one I'm going to convert with, the second one I'm going to color correct, and then the third one I'm going to do the grade on. And hell, we even add 1 extra corrector for our own, halation look on that as well. Let's start with the first one. We want to search for color space transform, drag it onto that, and then of course I want to make sure that my color space is correct. So I'm gonna grab my input color grade is Canon Cinema Gamut, and then my output here is gonna be Rec 709, so let's go ahead and find it, Rec 709, Rec 709, and there we go. That is now converted on this first corrector. On the second one here, now down here, we can go ahead and correct our white balance, right? Find something like that. White balance is now corrected. Let's go ahead and just play with the shadows, highlights, tints, all that. So let's bring our shadows down towards, I don't know, -80, looks pretty good to me. Highlights we want to do the same thing with, go like -40-ish. Saturation I'm going to bring down a little bit too because I don't want it to be oversaturated. And then again, here on the gain, gamma, and lift sliders, again, we just want to change some of this around, not too much. Again, small movements are always better than giant changes. There we go. Bring our offset down. I like it. So this is what we had before to start with. This is what we have now. And then I'll bring my lift down a little bit too. Now, on the curves, again, we want to bring the curve down. So let's make an S curve. Let's not make it too strong. I have a kind of stronger one than I want it to be. Bring some of the blacks to the right a little bit, just a tiny bit. Now let's go to our third corrector node here. We'll go down here to log and color, and we'll start changing some of the effects here. Again, we want to bring our shadows and midtones down towards the blues, and we want to bring our highlights possibly towards the orange yellowish area. So let's start bringing that down a little bit. There, that looks okay to me. Highlights, I'd say are good here. And overall, the offset will change the whole image, and I want to bring it towards the greens a little bit. I kind of like that look. Again, this is what we started with. Then we have the Rec 709 conversion, color correction, and now the color grade. Of course, we can still modify this a tiny bit. And then we have halation right here. We're going to add to our fourth corrector. Click and drag it on. Let's bring the strength up. Saturation up a little bit. The spread I'm going to bring up too because I want it to be really soft. And let's bring the gamma up a tiny bit as well. On that secondary glow, I'll increase the strength a tiny bit and bring the gamma down. And maybe we'll change the color a little bit towards the yellows if you would, just a tiny bit. And now, no bloom, bloom, no bloom, bloom. And then to make sure that the other shots have the exact same look, we'll go ahead and down here, Command C to copy, Command V, paste it onto the other shot, and we're done. Now, personally, I like the way it looks better in Davinci. I think Davinci has better coloring. However, that is my full workflow for going from a normal aesthetic to a dark aesthetic using footage that's not even shot at night. It doesn't really matter when your footage is shot. It matters on how you expose the actual film, camera, like the way you shoot your footage itself, and then how much control you can, mentally bring to your footage in edit. I hope this helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what another, type of video you'd like to see on a different color grade style, and I will try my best to teach you it and do it. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully this wasn't too long. It's like 30 minutes of recording right now. Hopefully I can get like 6 minutes. I'm out of coffee. I'll see you later.